Hello, my dear, and welcome to our 5 minutes with Ekaterina war vlog from Dnipro, central Ukraine. Today I'm recording this video after morning massive attack on the whole territory of Ukraine, including Dnipro, and in many neighborhoods of the city we have the electricity outages and also water outages because the pumping system, which is electrical in Dnipro, is not working due to the rocket attack. And the attack was so massive, it was combined rockets and drones are basically the same rockets, just probably smaller and less smart. But this combination of attack, it led to damaging of a lot of energy objects. Thankfully, it's already spring and the winter is over, which means that we don't rely on heating so much. And heating anyway was scheduled to be switched off for Monday because in many places, in many buildings, we have the centralized heating, and central heating is the system which is directed by the government, and the government decides when they will turn it on and turn it off. Usually it's when the weather outside is to specific, like meeting specific norms, like for example, plus 12 degrees within 3 consecutive days, and that's the moment when they're turning it off. And they were going to turn it off this Monday, and they turned it off today due to this rocket attack. So that's the only difference. So luckily and thankfully, we went through the winter, and during the winter, despite Russians tried their best, they were not able to damage electricity infrastructure. But now they tried their best. They bought the parts from abroad, and in Russian rockets, the Russian parts are actually is a minority. Mostly they would use parts that they smuggle from Europe, smuggle from America, and Canada, by the way. So we have these parts of rockets, even if they're hit by anti-missile system, they fall apart, and you can find the parts of rockets in different places in the city. And when they started to look at these chips, at this electronics specifically, it is all made from foreign components. That's why sanctions clearly don't work, and even if it is more expensive for Russia to buy it, they do it. They buy it in large quantities, and they do launch rockets. Like today we had 37, if I remember correctly, 35 rockets total launched in Ukraine, just rockets with foreign components. And on top of this, it was even more drones, which are produced with the help of Iran. So it's Iranian and Russian joint enterprises producing them. And basically they use cheaper components, so it's more likely that they're produced in Russia, and they are not affected by the sanctions at all. And regretfully, the situation at the front line is not getting better, despite maybe you saw the feedback from the Institute of the Study of War. And this is a source that is pretty credible, and they're writing that the front line stabilized, the Russians are not moving very much, which is true, but this is coming with very high price, because Russian meat storms, when they just send and send and send people, just killing first, second, and third wave, and maybe the fourth wave will be real soldiers who were trained like real storm soldiers. So these meat attacks are not stopping, and everybody who is fighting now, they say that it is very difficult. We have a lot of wounded people. We have a lot of people who were killed by Russians at the front line. We have a lot of civilians who were killed by Russians in these villages and small cities, small towns along the front line. So that's why the situation there is far from stable. And I was talking to my friend who is a Ukrainian living abroad for more than 10 years. So she immigrated before the war has started. And she said that her friends she lives in England, and her friends in England, they think that the war is over, because she made an exhibition of pictures about the war, and people coming to her maybe not your close immediate friends, but people who were attending, they were saying, "Oh, thank you for doing it," because we thought that the war is over actually. So the war disappeared from the foreign newspapers, and at the same time, we have a very worrying things, worrying signals from America, whose chips, by the way, are in these Russian missiles, Russian rockets, and they say not that they only wouldn't support us, but also they forbid us to fight back because Ukraine made a few very successful attacks on Russian oil enterprises, and America saying, "Oh no, oil for us now when we will not trade with Russia, it will be more expensive. We don't want it," and that is outrageous. So the situation of people who were calling themselves our allies and what they do, it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating for me, and I tried my best to avoid it when I was talking about the situation in Dnipro. But now, not even receiving the help and being in ultimatum way threatened that we cannot fight back, we cannot do it on Russian territory. It's not civilian infrastructure, it is the infrastructure they use in order to kill us, in order to fuel their cars, their military cars, their tanks, and we cannot fight on the territory of Russia. That is something that is very worrying. So it's some countries that are saying that they are pro-Ukrainian and they want us to win the war. In reality, don't behave like this, and it's very frustrating. And I know that you were helping us for a long time. So I'm just asking to talk to your friends to try to inform as many people as possible that the war is ongoing. The situation is difficult. There are outages of water, outages of electricity again. Yesterday, people were injured in Kiev. There was also a huge attack there. The whole Kharkiv is without electricity because it was hit so badly, and again they hit them with smaller range missiles. So it's impossible to imagine what's going on, but people starting to forget. And our mission now is to spread the word, to say that it's not all and over, and it's even not getting better. Actually, we're losing the territories. We're fighting the same way as we were doing like 2 years ago or a year ago, and it's just the focus of people switched to different problems, and that's why they started to forget. So that's it. That's the situation. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all your love, all your support, and I hope to see you very soon under better circumstances. Goodbye.